November 6, 2009, this is News Undies, all the news that shouldn't be news. I'm Paul Torville with these headlines. An 11-foot statue of former U.S. President Bill Clinton has been unveiled in Pristina, Kosovo. The statue's subject was on hand for its unveiling. The statue commemorates the 1999 commencement of NATO bombing in Yugoslavia. Yay, bombing? Right-wing windbag Rush Limbaugh is now assailing President Obama over how the health reform proposals circulating in Congress constitute, quote, the biggest snatch of freedom and liberty, end quote, ever in the United States. Yeah. Because the seizing of Indian lands, sweeping massacres of Indians, and enslaving of millions of Africans is really trivial. Steve Harvey. The steeple of the First United Methodist Church in Shreveport, Louisiana, was blown off the church in a tornado and landed on the car of graphic artist Michael Williams. Williams suffered many broken bones, including at least one vertebra, his sternum, and bones in his wrist and fingers. Oh, and one finger needed amputation. Of course, God could not be reached to provide a reason for desecrating his own church or for nearly killing Williams, but allowing him to survive only through the efforts of rescue workers and emergency doctors. We'll have more after this. Hey gang, it's time for celebrity birthdays once again. I got my cake hat on. Let's rock! For Saturday the 7th, Marie Curie, very, very dead. Albert Camus, dead. And Joni Mitchell. For Sunday the 8th, Milton Bradley, dead. Ricky Lee Jones and Leif Garrett. For Monday the 9th, Hedy Lamarr, dead. Spiro Agnew, dead. And Carl Sagan, dead. For Tuesday the 10th, Ennio Morricone, Roy Scheider, dead. Astronaut Ronald Evans, and little Edmund Cunningham. For Wednesday the 11th, Fyodor Dostoevsky, dead. Alger Hiss, dead. And Kurt Vonnegut, dead. That's 2 days with all dead birthday people. For Thursday the 12th, Princess Grace of Monaco, dead. Wally Shawn and Nadia Comaneci. For Friday the 13th, Robert Louis Stevenson, dead. Richard Mulligan, dead. And Whoopi Goldberg. That's celebrity birthdays. I'm Paul Torville and I am done. Mel Gibson. The new warship USS New York passed the site of the former World Trade Center, also known as Ground Zero in New York City, issuing a 21-gun salute. The ship is constructed in part from nearly 7 tons of steel plucked from the rubble of the Twin Towers. The USS New York is to be officially commissioned in New York City tomorrow. The general feeling in the city seems to be pride that the steel from the towers is being used in a vengeance weapon. Somewhat telling that a nation supposedly so Christian would dwell on such an Old Testament concept as vengeance, to go so far as to metaphorically use the bones of the fallen as weapons against the enemy. Creepy. Maine is the 40th most populous and 38th most densely populated state in the country. In a referendum on Tuesday, voters shot down a law which would have allowed homosexuals to marry in the state. Here are Pig and Sheep with their reactions. As we all know, God hates fags. And if a man lies with another man, it is an abomination. And while we're at it, you need to stone your kids to death when they mouth off. So saith the Lord. Lordy, 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 Lordy. Amen. Woo! Setting aside Bronze Age nonsense for a moment, it's not like these people are living in North Korea. If your vote at the polls doesn't cut it, vote with your feet. Take your prosperity and goodwill to a place where they're appreciated. It's not like the rest of New England won't welcome you. That's what Pig and Sheep think. What are your thoughts? Email them to ovcomments@newsundies.com. Hey kids, get out your ironioscopes. Go on, I'll wait. Okay, so it seems that legitimate churches are getting on the internet religion bandwagon, and a mere 15 years after businesses started creating real online presences. That's just amazing. Even more amazing is that the internet depends entirely on the reliable behavior of natural laws revealed through the practice of science, and not on faith. But religions, which operate solely on faith, are now depending on this triumph of technology based on decades of scientific research called the internet to propagate their faith. You see that? Employing the products of science to practice and spread their faith. Look through your ironioscope. Do you see it? Can you see it? The Michael Jackson post-mortem exploitation fest, This Is It, took in over $100 million worldwide in its first 5 days of release. That's nice. I'm sure he could use the money to pay off all that debt he left behind. Oh, wait. That's right. He's dead. Royal Caribbean's monster cruise ship Oasis of the Seas just barely squeaked under the Great Belt Fixed Link Bridge in Denmark with only about 2 feet of clearance to spare. The unnecessarily obscenely huge ship has 5 times the registered tonnage of the Titanic and can carry nearly 6,300 passengers and 2,100 crew. At 236 feet tall above the waterline, it's taller than Cinderella's castle at Disney World. In what way is this not a disaster waiting to happen? We'll have more after this.
You'll notice that when you watch NewsUndies, I'm always wearing a shirt from the Ursus Pacificus Kitsch Cave. Well, now you can too. You can help support NewsUndies by going to the Ursus Pacificus Kitsch Cave and getting some kitsch.
Scientology. Cleveland, Ohio police have reportedly recovered 10 bodies from the home of registered sex offender and convicted rapist Anthony Sowell. Sowell's neighbors have been reporting foul smells for at least 4 years. The stink was so bad, health inspectors went after a nearby sausage factory. Even though local sheriff's officers regularly visited Sowell's home, no one thought to check on the powerful stench until a woman reported escaping his home after being raped. Way to, thing, guys. And finally, and I do mean finally, we all saw this coming, didn't we? Patrick Fitzgerald, the federal special prosecutor assigned to the outing of CIA operative Valerie Plame, declared the presence of a, quote, cloud over the vice president, end quote, after the completion of a series of interviews with key personnel, including Cheney himself. Now, a 28-page summary of the interviews with Cheney has been released. The summary includes 72 instances of Cheney saying he can't be certain in his answers. Cheney also refused to answer in at least one other instance. Thanks to Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington for going after this under FOIA. Of course, it doesn't really mean much unless someone is going to prosecute Cheney. It's kind of like the Nixon Library released 154 hours of tape back in June, but who's left to hold accountable for anything? Kissinger? Sheesh. Well, that's all for this edition of NewsUndies. We'll be back next Friday with more news that shouldn't be news. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Paul Torville. After that, I might be Carl Ballantine. Apparently, there's been an opening. What?
You said Saturday.
Oh, shit.
Keep it rolling. I want to do one more.
For Saturday the 8th, Milton Bradley, dead. Sorry. For Saturday the 8th.
It's not like these people are living in North Korea. If you want... I'm not... I don't know. I'm not... it's like I'm not really feeling it. I'm not sure.
For Friday the 13th.
All right, one more. Back up the prompt. Thank you.
Mr. Scott, I have fallen over on my back. Could you help me? No, I can't, Mr. Spock, because I am stuck in this seat, and if I stand up, I will fall over too.
Oh, are you going to cut?